Weirdos.
Christopher.
Let's check out the 2012 and 1988 Shafer Merlots.
Ah, we have a vertical on the show.
Yep.
Looks like about 25 years or 25 or so years.
Sure.
We've got the 12 coming in at around $52.
Yep.
And it's a 15.1 alcohol by volume. We're looking more at a beginning of a drought year, but with an absolutely phenomenal vintage climate-wise.
Yep. They do 8,000 cases of this 2012 Merlot. Lovely on the nose, right?
Exactly. Well, I'm getting tons of cherry, almost an acidic lift to a candied cherry with a hit of mint, rose petals. The terroir is coming through, there's some loam coming off, and some volcanic minerals coming off the aromatics. What's it doing on the palate?
Even in its youth, this is spectacular. There is tons of complexity. There's a spiciness that I'm really enjoying, almost like a sweet cumin sort of cardamom thing, which is really lovely and well developed again in its youth. There's tons going on. There is that sort of loamy, ashy thing going on as well. Well, don't be fooled. This is definitely New World, and there is tons of explosive, lovely, exquisite fruit.
I love Doug Shafer's hand here. It's a very concentrated, very rich. The Merlot is singing in its herbaceousness. The fruit content is so ripe. And it's so persistent, but it's lovely. There's spice action, mineral. That loaminess is coming through. I'm getting a really hard hit of volcanic minerals too, which I'm really loving.
Yes.
This is a heavy, rich, concentrated wine that's elevated. The acidity is right there supporting it.
Right.
A hamburger with this, to die for. Pork dishes, chicken dishes, bam, you're living large.
I think it's incredible, Merlot. They throw in a little Cab and Malbec, and I think that Malbec is really bringing
driving
that little,
it.
Yeah.
It really gives it some horsepower.
Precisely.
Let's move on to the 88.
Yeah, I'm excited to move on to the 88. I've had this recently as well, and it's been gorgeous. Love the color on it, right?
Yeah, this comes in a little different. This was in a drought situation, however, not the most favorable vintage climate.
Not at all.
They struggled.
They had a dry February and March, and then it got rainy later when they're trying to set their fruit.
Super low yields. However, they were going for that ripe concentration. However, this one comes in at 12.8 alcohol by volume. Aromatically,
beautiful.
Wow.
I know.
I'm loving this. The pine tar, the stewed black cherry note, that age is coming through. The graphite
is intense graphite.
Intense pencil lead on this. It's like going back to like a school and smelling like an old pencil lead kind of thing in the schoolroom. I'm getting that volcanic soil again on this. Again, we're near Stag's Leap, the Stag's Leap district.
Yep. Wow. Get in there. There's an iron play here that is to die for.
Yeah.
And I think fans of the Rhone actually would like it a lot because I think it's bringing some of that intensity that you get from some of the more wild Syrahs they have, Crow Hermitage, for instance. But man, don't get me wrong, it's Merlot for sure. They do 14% Cab Franc in the 88, and there was 8% Cabernet Sauvignon. So I think I'm getting the Cab Franc influence as well, which is just right there in line with like vegetal, but in the best way.
Yeah, I'd say this is right in its window, and it's primarily for that, that 15% Cab Franc is showing exceptionally. That grip that the Cab Franc delivers is integrating and giving so much structure to this wine where the fruit is just starting to wane, but there's plenty of brightness there that is just coming together. And I see this more at the chicken dish, honestly.
Sure, I mean, it's amazing because as the fruit gets leaner, all that secondary stuff's coming out to play, and it's really fascinating. It's so interesting to see how Shafer Merlots are wonderful in their youth. Like 2012 is so young.
Exactly.
But then almost 30 years in, 25 years in, wow.
Yeah, and then that iron mineral, that beef blood, is what's persistent on the palate on the aged Merlot.
I'm still tasting the finish.
Which I'm absolutely loving.
Yep, what a great pairing. Two different wonderful Merlots from Shafer. We'll be back with more on Wine Weirdos. Cheers.
Cheers.